Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. They say sharing is caring, but that motto tends to fall apart when what's being shared is your wedding dress or your boyfriend. Today in the rLounge, some next level messy. Up first, this copycat finally got called out. Am I the a-hole for getting my sister uninvited from our cousin's wedding because she tried to wear my original wedding dress? Let me start by saying I, 27 female, got married last year. It was a small, intimate ceremony with just close friends and family. My wedding dress wasn't designer or extravagant, but I designed it myself with the help of a local seamstress. It had deep personal meaning, hand-embroidered blue flowers that symbolized my late grandmother, who basically raised me. It wasn't about the price tag. It was about the thought, the symbolism, and the love sewn into every detail. It meant a lot. Now, here comes the problem. My younger sister, we'll call her Alyssa, 24 female. We've always had a weird, exhausting relationship. Alyssa has made a hobby out of copying me, not just a little sister phase, like full-time impersonation. Clothes, haircuts, favorite brands, hobbies, even my handwriting at one point. Growing up, my mom thought it was adorable. She just wants to be like her big sister. Except it wasn't flattering. It was invasive and relentless. I couldn't have a single thing to myself without it eventually being duplicated or passed off as her own style. To make it worse, Alyssa somehow always got praised for it. My mom would coo about how creative she was when she copied my art projects or wore my outfits a week later. And when I'd call it out, I was too sensitive. Even when Alyssa flirted with my actual boyfriends while I was still with them, my mom said, "You're overreacting. It's not that serious." Spoiler alert, our dad cheated on our mom for years and she still stayed with him. So yeah, the bar for respect is subterranean in this family. And just to top it off, yes, she even tried it with my husband, the man I married. Before we got engaged, when we'd been dating a few months, Alyssa started joking with him a lot. Overly flirty, touching his arm constantly, saying things like, "If you weren't taken," or "You'd better treat her right or I'll have to swoop in." Always just barely towing the line so she could claim it was harmless. He told me about it, and honestly, that should have been the moment I cut her off completely. But my mom convinced me to let it go. Again, she's just teasing. She's always been playful. No, she's always been disrespectful and enabled. Fast forward to this month. Our cousin Rachel is getting married and we're both bridesmaids. Everyone's excited. It's going to be a fun weekend. About a week before the rehearsal dinner, Alyssa sends me a selfie of the dress she's planning to wear to the dinner. All smiley and proud of herself. I open it, and for a second, I'm confused. Then my stomach drops. It's my wedding dress. I don't mean similar vibes or a similar color. I mean it's my exact design. The same neckline I sketched by hand. The same embroidered fabric choice. I literally worked with a seamstress for months making sure the flowers were placed around the waist just right. And there it was. On her. She had found someone on Instagram and had it copied. Like it was a Pinterest dress or something. And all she said was, "Isn't this so cute?" I called her. I asked her, calmly at first, what on earth she was thinking. Her answer? "You're married. You wore it. Let someone else enjoy it. It's not that deep." Not that deep? She basically ripped off the most meaningful piece of clothing I've ever owned. And she wants to be me. What? Flattered? I told her flat out, if she wore that dress, I'd tell Rachel and the whole family exactly where she got it. And I'd show up to the rehearsal dinner in a full-length white gown with a train and veil just to be extra petty. She laughed. She actually laughed and told me I was being childish. Okay, game on. So I messaged Rachel privately. I showed her the screenshots and explained everything. Made it clear I wasn't trying to stir up drama, but I felt disrespected and blindsided. Rachel, bless her, was livid on my behalf. She said Alyssa had no business pulling something like that right before someone else's wedding and told me she'd handle it. A day later, Alyssa was officially uninvited from the rehearsal dinner and the pre-wedding events. Cue the meltdown. My mom called me, furious. "How could you do that to your sister? It's just a dress." She accused me of being vindictive, said I embarrassed the family, and that I'm still holding on to childhood jealousy. Mind you, this is the same woman who let Alyssa walk all over me for decades and called it sisterly love. But here's the kicker. Alyssa showed up anyway. She wasn't invited. Rachel made that clear. But she thought she could just show up and play the victim, act surprised, say there was a miscommunication. She showed up to the rehearsal dinner wearing the knockoff version of my dress. No shame, still smug. Rachel didn't even blink. She pulled her aside and told her to leave. Security wasn't needed, but Rachel made it very clear she wasn't welcome. Alyssa stormed out and posted some passive-aggressive nonsense on Instagram about jealous women and sisters who can't handle a little shine. I finally snapped and told my mom the truth. I'm tired of having to make myself small just to keep the peace. I let Alyssa copy me for years because I was told to be the bigger person. But copying my wedding dress, the one I designed in honor of my grandmother, was my line. And she bulldozed right over it. For the record, the dress wasn't just a dress. It was one of the only things that felt mine and a family that's constantly blurred the lines between sharing and stealing. I put love, grief, and meaning into that dress. It honored someone who made me feel seen when no one else in our family did. And instead of respecting that, Alyssa treated it like an aesthetic she could lift for an Instagram photo. So yeah, I put my foot down, for once. And now my family's acting like I'm the a-hole and that I burned the house down because I finally let it match. So, am I the a-hole for getting her uninvited? Let's see the community's opinions. First up, not the a-hole. Your sister has some serious mental issues and needs therapy. Sounds like the rest of the family as well. The OP replies, thank you. Many family members have seen her behavior and agree, but my mom is always the one to shut them down and prevent her from getting help. Someone else chimes in, not the a-hole. Honestly, I think you're better off without your toxic sister and mother. It's really easy to guess who the favorite is. Courage to you. Another opinion, not the a-hole, and if I were the bride, I'd be pretty weirded out that your sister copied your wedding dress to wear to the rehearsal dinner. It's disrespectful to both of you. No, you're not the a-hole. You've been putting up with Alyssa's copy and paste antics your whole life, and now she went and turned your wedding dress, something you poured your heart into, that meant something real, into a cute little outfit for an Instagram moment? That's unhinged. And your mom's response? It's just a dress. No, it's your dress, your design, your memories, your grandmother's legacy. What would you have done? Up next, this man's love life crashed harder than his car. My cousin's two girlfriends met at his hospital bedside. Chaos, confusion, and the kind of plot twist you'd see in a telenovela. Buckle up, because this story is messier than a spaghetti plate in a food fight. A few months ago, my cousin Mark, male 21, got into a really bad car accident. Like, scary bad. He was unconscious for a while, and we genuinely didn't know if he was going to make it. Thankfully, he's awake now and should be starting rehab next month to learn how to walk again. We love a fighter. But, in true Mark fashion, he somehow managed to stir up a whole soap opera while in a coma. So here's where things go from tragic what the F. A couple of weeks ago, after the accident, my sister and I went to visit him in the hospital. When we got to his room, we saw 3 people already there. His mom, his girlfriend Bree, female 21, and some random girl we didn't recognize. Now, Bree and this mystery girl were standing shoulder to shoulder, like besties or secret agents, co-girlfriends. My sister and I side-eyed each other, completely confused. So my sister, trying to be polite, turns to Bree and says, "Hey Bree, why didn't you tell us you were bringing your friend?" Bree, without blinking, with the calmness of someone dropping a nuclear bomb, goes, "Oh no, that's Mark's girlfriend, Sam." What? My mouth dropped. I had to walk out of the room because I was seconds away from snorting out into laughter. By the time I came back in, Sam had left. My sister told me that Sam was super rude to her, and Bree looked like she was about to commit a felony. Mark's mom stepped in and kindly told Sam to leave. Fast forward to today. I visited Mark, who is alive, healing, and completely unaware that this romantic double life crashed harder than his car. This man is in the middle of a nuclear love triangle, and he has no idea. Bree is just waiting for him to heal fully so she can detonate the truth in his face. Honestly, I laugh every time I think about it. Poor Mark's gonna wake up, find his legs, and lose them again when Bree explodes on him. Stay safe out there. Don't cheat, especially not when your 2 girlfriends might meet at your hospital bed. I made another post explaining something about Bree, so go check that out. Update. For you guys who asked for an update, here's what I have. P.S. This is the second time I've posted and I'm still figuring things out. So here's some tea I didn't spill in the first post. Bree, Mark's main girlfriend, isn't just some random girl to me. We've been friends since elementary school. She lives across the street from me. We're closer. And if there's one thing you need to know about Bree, it's this. She's the most unfiltered person on the planet. If she doesn't like something, she's saying it. If something's bothering her, you'll hear it before you even ask. After we left the hospital, I asked her why she was standing so close to Sam, the other girlfriend, like she was 2 seconds away from unleashing fury. Bree just looked at me and said, "Oh, I was preparing to put that fish-smelling butt witch next to Mark's bald-headed butt. She is lucky Mrs. Mark's mom told her to leave." I wheezed, because I knew that's true. This is the same woman who once cussed out her boss for being annoying and dared him to fire her just to see what would happen. Spoiler, he didn't fire her, he was smart. So when I tell y'all my cousin Mark is about to get his butt handed to him, I mean with love. Right now, he's clueless. He's still healing. And Bree? Oh, she's being the best girlfriend imaginable. Visiting every day, bringing him whatever he needs, and smiling like she's not planning emotional destruction in 4K. And calmly waiting for that man to gain full strength just so she can verbally suplex him into the next dimension. That's all the intel I've got for now, but don't worry. When the storm finally hits, I'll be back with popcorn and another update. Stay tuned. Edit. Y'all, I misspelled Mark's name as Mike in a comment. Now people are saying my story is fake. Mark, Bree, and Sam are all fake names. But that's okay. I know the story isn't fake. The accident was taking a toll on my family, both emotionally and financially. We don't have free healthcare in our country, so everyone has been pitching in where they can. To everyone who still believes me, I'll update y'all when Bree makes her move. And to those of y'all saying my story is fake, go find something better to do than hate on people online. P.S. I asked Bree if she wanted to write her side of the story, and she cursed me out, saying it wasn't any of my business posting it online. I had permission from Mark's mom to go ahead and share it. Edit. For everyone asking how Sam knew Mark had been in the accident, she's a surgery intern at the hospital Mark is at, and saw his name scheduled for surgery that day. She called one of Mark's friends to confirm it. That's how she found out. Update 2. Okay, please make sure you're sitting down and grab some popcorn because here's the tea. Someone commented, "Wasn't his mother in the hospital room? I thought she asked Sam to leave. But had they met before? If he already brought Sam home, that would be a hell of a twist." So I went and asked my mom and my cousin, the one who's always in everybody's business, for all the tea she knows. And here's what I've got. Apparently, Sam is, y'all ain't ready for this, Mark's ex. They broke up because Sam got a scholarship to study in the US, and while she was gone, Mark and Bree started talking. So yes, Mark's mom did know Sam, but as the ex. And get this, when Sam found out Mark was in the hospital, she actually called Mark's mom and asked her about it. Mark's mom didn't confirm or deny anything. She stayed quiet because she didn't want Bree and Sam showing up at the hospital at the same time and causing drama. That's when Sam called one of Mark's friends to confirm it. Now, here's where it gets juicy. According to my cousin, Mark and Bree had a big argument about something Bree had said to her friends about Mark. One of Bree's friends told someone who told someone else, and eventually it got back to Mark. That night, Mark left Bree's house and told her he was going to my mom's place. She lives across the street from Bree. Spoiler alert, he never showed up there. Instead, he met up with Sam at a motel and spent a few days with her. And ever since then, they've been talking again. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have said no one knew about Sam, because Mark's mom and my cousin definitely did. I probably won't be updating this for a while. Bree isn't talking to me, and Mark is still healing. But I'll be back when everything goes down. Edit. Here's a little context about what happened to Mark. Mark was heading home from work with 2 friends. He was in the back seat without a seatbelt on. Guys, wear your seatbelt. The driver was speeding and lost control of the car. It spun a few times before finally stopping. The driver walked away with a concussion. The guy in the passenger seat broke his leg. Mark, though? He broke his leg, broke 3 ribs, and had brain swelling during the first few weeks of his coma. I think he woke up at the beginning of this month, but he still can't talk because he has an endotracheal tube. He's also having trouble breathing on and off. And here's the messed up part. His so-called friends didn't even report the accident. I've been saying that Mark's mom should sue them, but she said she doesn't want to ruin their careers as soldiers, which is complete BS considering she almost lost her firstborn son. And honestly, this whole mess could have been avoided if he had just worn his seatbelt. Let this be a lesson. Wear your seatbelts. or your two girlfriends might end up meeting while you're in a coma. That hospital room scene? I would have evaporated. Just gone. Dissolved into the air. Bree introducing Sam like, oh yeah, this is Mark's other girlfriend, with zero emotion? That's scarier than any horror movie. And the fact that Sam stayed in the room long enough to get told to leave by Mark's mom? Oh boy. Mark better enjoy the silence while it lasts, because the second he can talk again, he's going to wish he stayed in a medically induced nap. He's not healing. He's being prepped for his own execution. Share your thoughts on this one in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time. And please put your chair back where you found it.